Good evening. This is All India Radio and I am Valsa Williams with the news at 9. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi asked NRI community to motivate at least 5 foreign families to visit India every year for Bharat Darshan. President Ramnath Kovind says India is firmly committed to partner Bhutan in its socio-economic development. A Delhi court remands Asia Andrabi and 2 other Kashmiri separatists to 10 days custodial interrogation by NIA. Tripura government to distribute free ration to about 62,000 families in 10 tribal-dominated blocks for 2 months. India and Nepal decide to jointly promote Buddhist and Ramayana circuits and adventure tourism. Pakistan Accountability Court sentences former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif to 10 years imprisonment in a corruption case. Sharif's daughter Mariam and son-in-law also sentenced. In FIFA World Cup, quarter-final round begins. France face Uruguay, Brazil to clash with Belgium tonight. And in cricket, India to take on England in second T20 match in Cardiff in a short while from now. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today asked the NRI community to motivate at least 5 foreign families to visit India every year for Bharat Darshan. He also appealed to the NRI community to work towards the dream of creating a new India. Addressing the 8th International Convention of Saurashtra Patel Cultural Samaj of the United States through video conferencing, Mr. Modi said this can pave a new way to serve the purpose of Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat Abhiyan and providing a great boost to India's tourism development. Mr. Modi said today India is associated with fast economic growth and honest, transparent governance. Initiatives like GST and strict action against corruption has helped people do honest business. Mr. Modi said these initiatives have resulted in 42-place jump in the ease of doing business rankings in the last 4 years. President Ramnath Kovind today said India is firmly committed to partner Bhutan in its socio-economic development and to support its 12th 5-year plan based on Bhutan's priorities. He said this during the meeting with Prime Minister of Bhutan, Tshering Tobgay, who called on him at Rashtrapati Bhavan this evening. Mr. Kovind said he is happy to note that many of the projects under Bhutan's recently concluded 11th 5-year plan have been implemented in a timely manner. The President said India and Bhutan share an exemplary bilateral partnership and the relation between both the countries are unique and special. Earlier, Prime Minister Modi met his Bhutanese counterpart in New Delhi. The 2 leaders discussed issues of mutual interest in enhancing special friendship between the 2 countries. They also held delegation-level talks. The Tripura government will distribute free ration to about 62,000 families in 10 tribal-dominated blocks for 2 months. Talking to media in Agartala, State Education Minister Ratanlal Nath said that the decision was taken at a cabinet meeting held last evening. The minister said BPL families in 10 tribal-dominated blocks will get this facility for 2 months because during this time they face shortage of foods. He said each family will get 20 kg of rice per month. The government has also announced a hike in transport fare by 20% in view of increased fuel prices and other material costs. Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana was launched in 2014 by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. It is a national mission on financial inclusion encompassing an integrated approach to bring comprehensive financial inclusion of households. In Gujarat, around 1.21 crore people have opened their bank accounts under the scheme. Here is a ground report from our Ahmedabad correspondent.
According to the data provided by the State-Level Bankers Committee of Gujarat, balance in accounts opened under PMJDY has touched 3,302 crores rupees in the state by June 27 this year. Deepika Gamit, a housewife residing in a semi-urban area of Surat district, expressed her happiness about the scheme.
मैंने भी ये जनधन योजना का अकाउंट खुलवाया है, उसमें मैंने कई फायदे हैं जो मिडिल क्लास लोग को मिलते हैं। ये योजना निकली तो हमें इससे कई फायदे हुए
The small merchant Jayesh Patolia also expressed feeling about the scheme.
I have opened my saving account under this Yojana and I have got lots of benefits, like I have got an ATM, e-Rupee, I have got a 1 lakh insurance, and also I have got a small amount of loan for my running business.
The target of opening bank account for each household in Gujarat has already been met. For better transparency and effective implementation of state-run schemes, the Gujarat government has integrated them with Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. Bharat Devmani, AIR News, Ahmedabad.
This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. Asia Andrabi and 2 other Kashmiri separatists were today handed over to the National Investigating Agency NIA for 10 days custodial interrogation by a Delhi court in connection with a case of allegedly waging war against the country. Asia Andrabi, Sophie Fahmida and Nahida Nasreen were brought to Delhi from Srinagar today. They were produced before District and Sessions Judge Poonam Bamba, who allowed the NIA's plea that Asia, who is chief of the banned outfit Duktarane-Millat, was required to be quizzed for hate speeches over a period in the Kashmir Valley. An accountability court in Pakistan today sentenced ousted Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif to 10 years in prison in one of the 3 corruption cases against him in the high-profile Panama Papers scandal. His daughter Mariam was sentenced to 7 years and son-in-law, Captain Retired Safdar, to 1 year. Accountability Court Judge Muhammad Bashir pronounced the verdict behind closed doors. Nawaz Sharif is in London attending to his wife Kulsum Nawaz, who was diagnosed with throat cancer last year. While Nawaz Sharif was fined $10 million, his daughter Mariam was handed down a $2.6 million fine. The ruling came weeks before the general elections in Pakistan on the 25th of July. The second meeting of the Joint Working Group on Tourism Cooperation between India and Nepal concluded in Kathmandu this evening. Both sides agreed to jointly promote Buddhist and Ramayana circuits and adventure tourism. The meeting also decided to set up industry-led India-Nepal Tourism Forum. The Indian delegation was led by the Joint Secretary, Ministry of Tourism, Suman Bila, while Nepalese side was led by Joint Secretary, Ministry of Culture, Tourism and Civil Aviation, Ghanshyam Upadhyay. The group was formed after Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Nepal in 2014 to enhance cooperation in tourism between the 2 countries. The evacuation of stranded Kailash Mansarovar pilgrims in Nepal has reached the final stage. Over 1,200 pilgrims have been evacuated from Simikot so far. Our correspondent reports that 387 pilgrims were airlifted from Simikot today.
In a mammoth exercise undertaken by the Indian Embassy, 1,270 pilgrims were safely evacuated from difficult terrain of Simikot in last 4 days. 76 commercial flights and 145 sorties of choppers were made to airlift stranded pilgrims. Now over 100 people are stuck in Simikot and just 18 in Hilsa. These pilgrims are also likely to be evacuated tomorrow. Meanwhile, situation is almost normal and Kailash Mansarovar Yatra via Nepal is underway smoothly. Rajkumar, AIR News, Kathmandu.
In Jammu and Kashmir, the Amarnath Yatra resumed this morning on Pahalgam route in Anantnag district. However, the Yatra remains temporarily suspended from Baltal in Ganderbal district in view of weather forecast of landslides along some stretch of the route. In a democracy, media plays a significant role in molding public opinion by giving credible and accurate information related to any event and happening. Authenticity, accuracy and balancing are part and parcel of any news item. But in the recent past, a new phenomena called fake news has emerged in the media and news world, which is posing a great challenge to the media to maintain its credibility. Basically, fake news is a deliberate presentation of false or misleading claims as news. It aims at manipulating the audience's cognitive processes. A report.
Different parts of the world, including in India, this phenomena is being witnessed particularly on social media. Recently, the government has directed WhatsApp to immediately contain the proliferation of fake, motivated and sensational messages in the wake of recent instances of lynching of innocent people. Cyber expert Pawan Duggal has pointed fingers on lacking responsibility of social media platforms in this regard and also emphasized the need to sensitize the people about penal provisions of cyber laws against disseminating provocative and false information.
ये दायित्व हम पर स्वयं है कि हम खुद कोलैबोरेट करेंगे इंडिपेंडेंट सोर्सेज से, इंटरनेट से, सर्च इंजन से कि क्या जो लिखा जा रहा है वो सत्य है या नहीं. तो कहीं ना कहीं डिजिटल साक्षरता को लाने की आवश्यकता है और ये ओवरनाइट नहीं होने वाली। आपको स्कूलों में पहली कक्षा से साइबर लॉ संबंधित आपको एजुकेशन देनी पड़ेगी और जो ऑलरेडी भारतवासी बिना ग्रूम किए इसका इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं उन्हें भी सेंसिटाइज करना पड़ेगा कि आप यहां कुछ करेंगे तो उसके कानूनी परिणाम हो सकते हैं और आपको उसका कानूनी खमियाजा भी भुगतना पड़ सकता है।
Senior journalist Pradeep Singh said the media houses should be more careful about the authenticity of any news items and cross-check the information before publishing and broadcasting them.
आप खबर न छापें ये अच्छा है बजाय इसके कि गलत खबर छापें। मान लीजिए आपकी असावधानी से गलती से गलत खबर चली गई है तो आपकी जिम्मेदारी है कि उसका खंडन छापें। और ऐसे माहौल में जब छोटी छोटी बातों को लेकर अफवाहों को लेकर सोशल मीडिया पर लोग हत्या कर दे रहे हैं एक दूसरे की, ऐसे माहौल में जिम्मेदारी और बढ़ जाती है मीडिया संस्थानों की कि वो इस बात का पूरा ध्यान रखें कि इस तरह की कोई गलती हो तो उसका तुरंत सुधार करें।
With Divakar Anand Kumar, AIR News, Delhi.
The Law Commission of India has recommended that legalizing betting and gambling in India in the present scenario is not desirable and a complete ban on unlawful betting and gambling must be ensured. Talking to AIR, member of the Law Commission, Justice Ravi Tripathi said that the Commission has submitted its 276th report on legal framework, gambling and sports betting, including in cricket in India. He said it has been recommended that effective regulation is required to control gambling and betting.
गैम्बलिंग और बैटिंग को हमें रेगुलेट करना है तो वो करना बहुत जरूरी इसलिए है कि इसके रेगुलेटिंग करने से ब्लैक मनी का जनरेशन और उसका सर्कुलेशन रुकेगा और ये तो एक्टिविटी जो अंडरवर्ल्ड के कंट्रोल में है उससे बाहर आ जाएगी। इससे ब्लैक मनी का जनरेशन रुकेगा और मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग भी रुकेगी।
President Ramnath Kovind will be on a 2-day visit to Goa from tomorrow. This will be his first visit to Goa as the president. An official release said the president will address the 30th annual convocation of the Goa University tomorrow. He will also attend a civic reception hosted by the state government. The Prime Minister will visit Jaipur tomorrow. During the visit, Mr. Modi will witness an audiovisual presentation of experience sharing by 12 beneficiaries of the central and Rajasthan government schemes. The Prime Minister will also lay the foundation stone for 13 urban infrastructure projects with a total outlay of over 2,100 crore rupees. At the stock markets, the Sensex ended with modest gains in a choppy trade today, while the rupee appreciated slightly against the dollar. A report.
At the stock markets, the Sensex at the Bombay Stock Exchange rose 83 points or 0.2% to end at 35,658. The Nifty added 23 points to 10,773. At the Forex market, the rupee gained 7 paise to 68 rupees 87 paise against the dollar. Gold climbed 110 rupees to 31,690 rupees per 10 grams in Delhi. And Brent crude futures slipped 79 cents to trade at $76.60 a barrel. Kamal Saxena for AIR News.
After 56 matches and 146 goals, the quarter-final stage of the FIFA World Cup began this evening with France's youthful flair meeting Uruguay's gritty resolve at Nizhny Novgorod. France was leading 2-0 when reports last came in. Varane's clinical header gave France a 1-0 lead against Uruguay in the first half. Griezmann got France the second goal lead in the 61st minute. In the other quarter-final tonight, five-time winners Brazil will take on Belgium at 11:30 p.m. in Kazan. In cricket, India will take on England in the second 2020 international of the three-match series at Cardiff today. The match will begin at 10 p.m. India is currently leading the series 1-0. They won the first game at Manchester by 8 wickets. The ongoing T20 series will be followed by 3 one-day internationals and 5 test matches. Meanwhile, fast bowler Shardul Thakur will replace injured pacer Jasprit Bumrah in India's ODI squad starting July the 12th. Bumrah had suffered injury to his left thumb during India's first T20I against Ireland and was ruled out of the ongoing T20I series against England. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi asked NRI community to motivate at least 5 foreign families to visit India every year for Bharat Darshan. President Ramnath Kovind says India is firmly committed to partner Bhutan in its socio-economic development. A Delhi court remands Asia Andrabi and 2 other Kashmiri separatists to 10 days custodial interrogation by NIA. Tripura government to distribute free ration to about 62,000 families in 10 tribal-dominated blocks for 2 months. Pakistan Accountability Court sentences former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif to 10 years imprisonment in a corruption case. Sharif's daughter Mariam and son-in-law also sentenced. In FIFA World Cup quarter-final round begins. France face Uruguay, Brazil to clash with Belgium tonight. And in cricket, India to take on England in second T20 match in Cardiff in a short while from now. And that is all in the news at 9. Good night.